Hey guys!
Alright guys, we're here today to do a Nightwish Sunday. And by the way, I think it's okay, I can announce it, right? That starting this Sunday, every Sunday, we're going to go through every single song of the album, minus the two that we already did. We did Noise and we did Harvest. So we're going to skip those two, but we're going to start in order. This is the opening track of the album, Music. This is the first song. So we're going to go in order, and we're just going to skip those two tracks because we've done those videos already.
Okay.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So starting this Sunday, starting today, it'll be Nightwish Sunday.
I mean, we've already been doing Nightwish Sundays.
I know, but now it's every Sunday. There's not going to be a skip. It's every Sunday for the next 7 Sundays because the first disc has 9 songs, right? There's 9 videos. They did lyric videos for they did one music video for Noise, and everything else was lyric videos. So we already covered Noise. We already covered Harvest. So there's 7 videos left. So starting this Sunday, every single Sunday for 7 Sundays. We're going to be doing one Nightwish song of the album in order.
Okay.
Once again, we're going to skip those two because we did them already. Because I feel like, I heard the album. I did a review. I really love this album. But you haven't heard the album yet, so I thought this is a good way for you to hear the album. And why not do it in order? So that way you hear the album in order.
Yeah, and this is the same thing we're going to do with when Winter Sun puts out a new album. Because I know you're going to do the album review for that. So.
Yes, and then we'll do the Winter Sundays.
Yeah.
In order.
God, I haven't heard that word in a long time.
What, Winter Sunday?
Winter Sunday.
All right. I started the video in a good mood, and now you've put me in a bad mood. All right. Thanks for that. So, Nightwish Music, first opening track. Well, obviously it's the opening track of the album. You ready for this?
Yeah.
that's always there to unlock the stars, to enter. Music, fanning the flames of the mystery, deepen in the listening, losing yourself to the endless symphony of now. You want to dream, want to daily make you scale, wish to leave the hollow to dance with man. Can you hear the brave drum from the most? Follow the beat and leave the noise behind if we be lovers. Before it starts, come join me, gathering that you will leave with the wildflower after days. Become the kind of still arms that run your voice. Give me a home inside you until the final thank you. And a good night. Music, fanning the flames of a mystery, deepen in the listening, losing yourself to the endless symphony of now. You are singing the tale of another man. Have you ever heard music? It is coming, coming, coming your way the very first of a mystery, deep in the listening, losing yourself to the endless symphony of now. Music, fanning the flames of a mystery, deep in the listening, losing yourself to the endless symphony of now. You are singing the tale of another man. Have you felt it in yourself, the music? It is coming, coming, coming your way the very first song.
And just like that, you've heard the first two songs of the album, because the one after this is Noise, which was the first video we did for the new album. So,
Beautiful way to start off the album. Beautiful.
did you like it?
Yeah. I there was certain parts of that I had to listen like very, very closely to really get like the the part in the video where there was the face, and then right after there was like this very, very fainted piano in the background, and that was so beautiful. And it was just kind of covered up by everything, but it was just so beautiful that it was just the shining in the background.
The song, when it starts, what I'm going to say now, it's one part is not going to make any sense to you because you've never seen the movie. The other part will make sense. The way the song starts, it starts off as 2001 Space Odyssey. When you have a chance, go on YouTube and type 2001 Space Odyssey. Just listen to the opening instrumental intro, how it builds like... that one has more of a sounding drums because it goes dum 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 dum. But the beginning, the opening, it was a little bit of 2001 Space Odyssey, and then it merges into Lion King. Did you get that from that melody with the tribal drums?
A little bit.
It was like I was waiting for Mufasa to show up. Like it honestly had a little bit. Lion King and that whole. Yeah, like, you know, showing him to the peasants, to all the other animals when he goes up to that cliff. It just had a little bit of Lion King in the tribal drums and the way it sounded. It had a little bit of that, and that's something, by the way, that tribal drumming you're gonna get throughout the record. There's a few other songs specifically tribal, but there's a few other songs that have those same style drums, almost like Roots from Sepultura. It has that tribal drum sound to it. Or Sepultura in general from that era, from that album. So I feel like this album, on a drum side, is very complex. It adds a lot of layers to it. It's not just your regular run-of-the-mill drums.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it. The drums really pick up the essence. It's one of the elements, in my opinion, that picks up the essence of what the song is all about, and they're able to deliver the style, the atmosphere that the song has, and the way the drums sound. And that same thing applies to the vocals, to the guitars, everything else. This is an album that I feel, and I want you to tell me what you think based on this first song. A lot of people were expecting the album to be a lot more symphonic power metal, like, you know, those bombastic Nightwish songs that, you know, like Everdream, for example,
that just screams Nightwish.
Yeah, those like really over the top with, like, you know, powerful vocals but really fast moving songs. And the album is not necessarily like that. The album it's perhaps a different side of the band, but to me is a different aspect of the band, or a different side of the band that I really liked, because each song has a little bit of it gives a little bit of a chance for every single member of the band to shine.
Yeah.
So some songs you're gonna get more out of one, some songs you're gonna get more of the other. Some are a combination of two or three of them. But to me, this is a team effort. This album is a team effort. Perhaps in previous records, when you listen to a Nightwish album, you know, there's a song that Marco has here and there. That's always been the case. But you almost feel like the albums always gravitate towards two key members of the band, Thomas on the keyboards and Floor singing. It just feels like they're the two suns in one single, in one solar system that has two main stars, and all the planets kind of revolve around those two stars. I know this doesn't make any sense from a space perspective, but anyways, but you get what I'm saying. Like, they're the two main focal points. I feel like in this album that's not the case. I feel like in this album they created
everyone shine.
Everyone has at least a song where that's their song to shine and to do their thing to the fullest. You know what I mean? And the other guys are there to complement that one member in order for that one member to really be able to show everything that they can do. So I feel like this album is perhaps a more mature album from them, and an album where I feel like the whole band is in the album. You know what I mean? Like, if there's an album from Nightwish where you can say that the whole band contributed equally to the sound of the album, is this one, in my opinion. And this song, to me, this song is the perfect start to the album. It has it's super melodic.
Yeah, it's a beautiful kind of soft going into the song.
It's like the sun coming up in the morning. It's like peaceful. It's just. But then there's a few moments that there's a little bit of a push. Like the tempo of the song increases, there's a little bit of a push. To me, this track is a synopsis of what you're going to get from the rest of the album. All right? Think about it. You're going to get the tribal drums throughout the album, right? You're going to get, you know, the powerful Nightwish sound throughout the album. You're going to get Floor's vocals in the more melodic approach that you have here, and then that more raising to the... I mean, there's songs in this album where she just like... never mind sky being the limit, she just goes beyond that. It goes into a whole nother galaxy. So there's that. Then there's this song, you get a little bit of a guitar bite. There's a portion of the song where you feel like the guitar gets a little bit heavier. There's a little bit of a riff. I saw some comments on the...
That happens like later on in the song.
Later on in the song, yes, I agree with you. Later on in the song. But there's a snippet. It's not a lot. It's just a snippet. And to me, a few people that commented on the album review said that the album wasn't heavy on the guitars. Overall, it's not necessarily heavy on the guitars, but there's a lot of great guitar work. And to me, there's certain songs, while not the whole song is heavy on the guitars, there's pieces on almost every song, not every song, but almost every song, where they have a bite to it. So it's not like the whole song is like, you know, death metal, but, you know, like there's a little bit of an extra bite to it. And to me, I like that. And then, you know, there's a song where Marco goes, he has his own song, and it's one of my favorites from the album, and it's the last one in the album, so you're going to have to wait a few weeks until we get to that. Yeah. So you're going to have to wait a little bit. So there's a little bit of everything on this record. And this, to me, this song kind of represents that. I don't know if you noticed, there's a part there where there's 2 vocal layers to it as well.
I didn't.
There's a middle portion of the song where it's not just Floor singing. There's another backup layer vocal in there that adds a little bit more presence, adds a little bit more volume. And they do that throughout the record as well. This is an album, first of all, you have to listen to it in sequence. Because I really feel like every song picks up something and goes...
left off.
Not necessarily where it left off, but there's an element of this song that then moves into the next song. And then the next song has new elements, and then there's some of those new elements that move into the next one. So every song picks up a little piece of the
last song.
It's almost like the relay. You know, when you're running doing the relay, you pass the baton. This album has a little bit of that. Like each song passes the baton to the next one. And there's not an overlap, but there's elements of the songs that get passed over to the next one, almost like DNA. In humans, right? Like if you have children, your children take a little piece of your DNA and you know your mom's DNA, and that's you. Then when you have children, they'll take a little bit of your DNA and the mom's DNA, and then they're their own. Like, you know, this album has a little bit of that DNA feel. You start off with this song, and then every song picks up a little piece of the DNA string, and it keeps growing as the album progresses. I really love that about the album, and you only pick that up if you listen to the album in sequence. And the other element is you have to listen to it with good headphones, because there's a lot of elements, like those underlaying vocals that you missed.
No, but these are good headphones.
I know, but
I didn't miss the part where it was the underlining keyboard.
Well, I guess you were paying attention to the keyboard.
I was paying attention to more of the music, like the whole...
this song is very musical.
Itself. Yeah, the instruments itself. And I could really hear the underlining of that keyboard, and it was so beautiful. But you have to really listen to it.
Yeah, I think this is one of those records. Like I said, if you have good headphones and you're listening to it, you'll pick up all of these different layers to it. The songs are very layered, and it's, to me, it's unreasonable to say, oh, the album is not heavy. Well, overall, it's not heavy, but there's heavy parts within the record. You just have to be paying attention to it. You know what I mean? It's like saying, the album. This is not a power metal, symphonic power metal album. It's not. And if that's what you want, you're going to be disappointed. But if you go in just wanting to experience the record and experience the experience of listening to the album, I think you're going to walk away enjoying the album, because it's really an album that grows as it progresses. Like I said, to me the first album is all about humanity, because the album name is called Human Nature. To me, the second disc, which is all instrumental, it's Nature. The first one is Human. So if you look at the songs, the way they pick up DNA from each other as they go along, that's part of being human. As you reproduce, like I said, you pass on your DNA.
Yeah.
And part of growing, like you're growing, is you grow through time. As you get older and older, you grow, you become wiser. Well, at least you should become wiser in all of these things.
A lot of people don't.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people regress. Believe it or not, they regress. But I feel like this album is like that. It grows as it's progressing. The DNA is passing along and the album is growing. That's how it feels to me. Did you enjoy that track?
Yeah.
All right. So you've heard the first two, Music and Noise. Next one will be Shoemaker, which is one of my favorite ones on the album. I think you're really going to like it. But that one will be next Sunday. All right, guys? So we'll see you next Sunday.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
See ya.